Some people like to follow all the rules. Other people like to break the rules to see why they were made in the first place, and I fall in the latter category. Hi, I'm Becca, and today I'm going to be going through a painting that I created using Olga Soby's secret recipe. And I didn't follow the rules. If you've taken her course, you know that Olga says not to shake your group 2 paints in the bottle. It's so tempting because it's so much faster to mix them that way. And I was running short on time, and I was like, I'll just shake my white. It'll be fine. I'm going to let it sit for a little while. I'll be able to torch the bubbles out. Well, I wasn't exactly right. Follow along and you'll see what happens. I poured on my white paint, and then I realized that I had forgotten to paint the edges of my canvas where that mauve color is going to go. So I went ahead and painted that while I was letting the white sit, hoping that more and more of the bubbles would rise to the top and I'd be able to pop them all with my creme brulee torch. Here I am popping the bubbles. I'm like, oh, this looks good. Everything's going to be fine. It's all going to be fine. The painting's going to be fine. So I started blowing out the white. And to me, everything looked fine. There were no bubbles or very few bubbles that I couldn't pop with a torch. So I moved on to my mauve color, blowing that out, moving the paints around, and just creating a nice even base to pour on. Then I went ahead and started adding in some lines to my composition, starting with the white base on the mauve side and a mauve base on the white side. Then I'm adding in some of this very light, dusty, minty green color. I am going for some very, very muted colors, which is going to be in a juxtaposition to the next color that I'm going to add, which is super bright. I kind of just wanted to play around with those muted colors against the bright colors that are going to form the cells because this is from her group 1, and kind of just see how that all played together. This color that I'm adding now is Iridescent Red Blue by Pebeo, mixed with Olga's Group 1 recipe. It's kind of cool the way that this color is going down because you can kind of already see that it's forming cells, which is pretty neat to see that reaction already happening. The last color that I'm putting down here is Liquitex Payne's Gray, which kind of looks a little bit more like a navy blue once it gets mixed with the pouring medium. And I am just using this sparingly because I don't want it to turn too blue, but I wanted a little bit of contrast of a dark color. And then I'm coming in with my titanium white, which has way too many bubbles in it. And I'm just adding that in on the mauve side to make sure that when I blow the paints over, there will be enough contrast on that side where some of the pale green, the pink, and the Payne's Gray are going to be mixing over that mauve color. I generally like to come back in with my blowtorch and pop the bubbles after I've laid down all my colors anyway. But for this painting, I'm going to spend a lot of time on this white paint trying to pop the bubbles because it's starting to become clear to me at this point that I'm not going to be able to get all the bubbles out. I've already laid down my paint, so I've kind of already committed to this painting at this point. So I'm doing everything that I can to try to make sure that I save it. And what you'll see later is it kind of creates like this foamy look in the white section. I don't know if it's bad necessarily. I guess it's just a matter of preference if you like that look or not. But it also ends up forming lots of little speckled bubbles within white bubbles, or they're not even cells, they're just like little tiny specks where the white pops in the other colors. So I'm just going to blow this out, let you enjoy the process, and then I'm going to finger swipe. And at the end, you'll be able to see where the white bubbles have affected the other colors. And I'll also show you a close-up of what the white looks like, how that it looks kind of like a foamy texture that I was never, no matter how much I blew it, able to get all those bubbles out. If you'd like to take Olga's class, there's a link in the description along with a promo code Becca for 10% off her course. I find the class very valuable. I love that she gives so many rules and really, really goes through the nitty-gritty of how to use her pouring medium. But As we all know by now, sometimes I'm a rule breaker, and sometimes it works to my benefit, sometimes it doesn't. I'm going to go ahead and turn on the music, let you enjoy the rest of this painting. You'll have to tell me at the end if you think it worked out in my favor or if I should not have shook that bottle. I'll see you later for the final results. Here is an up-close look of the final wet results, and you can see the little tiny white bubbles or like pinpricks that came through where the white bubbles were still popping underneath. I love the look of the cells that showed up in this painting. They're just really magnificent. They're so bright and vibrant against the mauve and muted color backgrounds. I just think there's something special to it. But personally, I wish it didn't have all those little white flecks in all of the petals and surrounding. I think I would like it better without, but you can tell me, do you like it or not? Drop it in the comments. Thank you for joining me today. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you for the next one.